This will be the heaviest weight that anyone has ever carried on their shoulders. Patrick will be attempting 555 kilos, which is 1,224 pounds. This is an official Guinness World Record. Here we go! World record in hand!
It's not about being the strongest and the biggest. It's really about what are you going to do with your strength and what are you going to do with the power that you have.
Friends, that was German strongman Patrick Baboumian, the weightlifting champion who is considered to be among the strongest persons in the world. And the reason why he is recognized as one of the strongest, because as you saw, he lifted a weight of 555 kilos, more weight than any other human being has ever lifted. But even before lifting this massive weight, he has broken a whole lot of weightlifting records around the world. In 2011, he was declared Germany's strongest man. And in 2015, he completed the yoke walk with 560 kilos weight on his shoulders. As you know, this is a weight which can't even be pushed by 3 or 4 normal people. But what makes him even more special is the fact that he is a vegetarian, in fact, a vegan. That's right, he is breaking all these records without consuming meat or dairy products. That goes against the mainstream thought, which maintains that you must eat meat and dairy in case you want to be strong. And yet, here he is being recognized as one of the strongest men, and that too on a vegetarian diet. Similarly, if you follow Indian cricket captain Virat Kohli on social media, then you must be aware that recently social media has been very active with the news of his turning vegetarian. Now, belonging to a Punjabi household and coming from Delhi, Virat Kohli grew up on butter chicken and chicken tikka masala. He was a hardcore meat eater. However, 2 years back, he turned vegetarian, and then he went a step further, and today he is almost vegan. Around 90% of dishes that he eats are animal protein free and dairy free. So the question is, why did he change his diet? Why did he change his diet all the way from a non-vegetarian to almost vegan? And the answer is simply because he saw the benefits of eating vegetarian diet. He was suffering from cervical spine issues resulting from extreme acidity in his body because of eating meat. Once he gave up eating meat, his health improved as well as his performance on the cricketing field, which is a joy for all of us. While Virat gave up meat because of health reasons, there are millions of people around the world who are giving up meat in order to reduce their impact on the environment. And they do so because growing meat has a massive impact on our environment. In fact, according to a FAO estimation, 18% of all global anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions are associated in one way or another with livestock production. And not just the emissions. According to the FAO report, the livestock sector is a major stressor on many ecosystems and on the planet as a whole. Globally, it is one of the largest sources of greenhouse gases and one of the leading causal factors in the loss of biodiversity. And simultaneously, in developed and emerging countries, it is perhaps the leading source of water pollution. Some of the environmental effects that have been associated with meat production are pollution through fossil fuel usage, animal methane, effluent waste, and water and land consumption. Of course, here we must mention that all meat production does not have a serious impact on the environment. Meat is obtained through a variety of methods, including organic farming, free-range farming, subsistence agriculture, hunting, fishing, and finally, intensive livestock production. And it is the industrial meat production methods which cause most damage. If a farmer in India has half a dozen hens and cocks and they graze around his house on the leftover foods of the household, then the eggs produced by them don't harm the environment. What harms is industrial scale meat production and intensive livestock rearing. But the sad thing is that a whole lot of meat available in our markets today comes from this category. In addition to huge pastures for grazing, intensive meat production also requires large quantities of harvested feed like soya or corn. And the industrial production of this feed also has negative impact on our environment. It takes 7 kilos of animal feed to produce a kilo of beef. It takes more than 3 kilos of feed to produce a kilo of pork. And it takes 2 kilos of feed to produce a kilo of chicken. Today, some crops are grown almost exclusively for animal feed. For example, only about 6% of soybeans are used directly as human food. The rest is processed into oil and meal. And again, virtually all of that meal is used as animal feed. The growing of cereals for feed requires substantial areas of land. Soy cultivation is a major driver of deforestation in the Amazon basin. And here is the sad fact. 80% of soy grown in Amazon is converted into animal feed. In other words, if there was no intensive meat production industry in the world, a whole lot of Amazon rainforest deforestation could be avoided. As you can see in this table, the animal food products provide only 18% calories to the human beings. But growing those 18% calories requires 83% of all the agricultural land in the world. In other words, if we were not eating meat, we will have so much extra land for growing food crops, and then we will have a lot more extra food available to us. Similarly, growing those 18% meat calories is responsible for 57% air and water pollution and for 58% greenhouse gas emissions. As you can see in this table, you need 185 square meters of land to grow 100 grams of mutton protein, whereas you need just 3.5 square meters to grow the same protein from chickpeas or peanuts. And you need even less land to grow the same amount of protein through tofu. Meat production is also a huge problem for our water resources. As you can see in this table, it takes 16,730 cubic meters water to grow 1 ton of beef, whereas it takes just 130 cubic meters water to grow a ton of potatoes. In other words, you can grow 125 tons of potatoes with the water needed to grow just 1 ton of beef. The sum total of all these processes is that meat production today is responsible for a whole lot of greenhouse gas emissions. As you can see in this table, every gram of meat protein produces 62 grams of CO2 emissions, whereas every gram of lentil protein produces just 0.25 grams of CO2 emissions. Not limited to all these, there are 1,000 other adverse impacts of meat industry on our environment. We can talk for hours listing all the harms posed by intensive meat production. So, in the end, all I would say is that next time you eat meat, remember that you can do a whole lot of favor to your environment by switching to a vegetarian diet. And if you can't give up meat, please at least eat meat that has been produced in an eco-friendly manner. It is not only good for your health, it is equally good for the environment. And finally, please don't simply eat meat because it is fashionable or because someone told you that eating meat will make you stronger. Some of the strongest athletes around the world right now are thriving on vegetarian diet and vegetable protein. And then we have our own Virat. Let us learn from him. He is a vegetarian and he is one of the top batsmen in the world. And when he comes to bat, most bowlers, even those who eat a lot of meat, struggle to contain him. So friends, this was a brief discussion on the environmental impact of meat industry. I hope that this will help you understand the true cost of meat consumption on our beautiful planet. In the next episode, we will discuss yet another topic important for our personal and professional growth. So please don't miss it. Until then, keep learning, keep sharpening your skills, and keep